And welcome to the No Something Required podcast, a podcast where we talk about nothing. And now welcome your trio of hosts, starting with Romina, the birthday girl, and of course, our favorite Audrey, the hut, and your dark lord of the interwebs here to save you from the perils of your own poor choices, Roberto Blake. Welcome to the No Something Required podcast, filmed in front of a live YouTube audience.
Wow.
So
Guys, my
first of all,
thumbnail's going to be beautiful.
Mine's better.
Oh, is that how we're starting, guys?
That's how it's starting.
40 seconds in.
We going in.
Yeah.
First of all, happy birthday, Romina.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
How many rotations around the sun?
You know what happened, Roberto, when I came on here when you were in the green room? Freaking Audrey, she goes, "How does it feel like getting old?"
Oh Lord.
I was like,
Romina, you don't even have. I don't even think you have gray hairs yet. Like, I mean,
I ask everyone that question.
Yeah, okay.
Just you guys. All right.
Yeah,
this is
freaking cool.
I mean, I'm over here freaking salt and pepper. Like,
yeah, you're doing the whole, like, you got the little beard and everything. Like, it's a style though. It's a style, you know.
I'm doing that whole Ra's al Ghul. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, it's a style. Right?
Yeah, I'm doing that whole. Maybe I'm immortal.
No, maybe I probably won't have TBH. I mean, my parents barely have gray hair, and they're in their 60s, and my dad's in his 70s. And my grandmother, she had very black hair.
My thing is, I'm a little worried about my hairline.
She barely had any gray hair.
I'm just slightly worried about my hairline.
I mean, worst comes to worst, you could always shave the whole thing, right?
Wait, say again?
That's a great solution.
You could always just shave the whole thing when it if it gets real bad, you know, and you feel
if it gets real bad,
I'm
just gonna shave the whole thing. I'm gonna go Bezos. I'm gonna go full on like Bezos, and it really works when especially when you're black. It works to just go straight up.
Oh yeah,
so
100%.
So me and Viper will just be twins. Me and Viper will just be twins.
Oh yeah, no, and I mean Viper looks great.
Yeah, so I'll just like
yeah.
If I start to get to a point where I don't like my hairline, because like right now I can still just do cornrows, you know, because like my hair's still thick, especially in the back. Like and it's good quality.
Yeah.
But also, but I can also probably do the whatever the keeps is. I can do keeps, and I could probably just get that back.
Roberto, you also wear a lot of hats.
Fair.
I mean, I'm not you know, yeah, and I don't know if that really helps.
Only on camera and when I go out. I don't wear them around the house.
It's a lot of hats, though, man.
Still, fair.
If you think about it, because I hardly ever
wear
wear hats when I go out.
Yeah,
you know,
but I do moisturize. Yeah, but like for real though, it's like my hair is actually good. I got that good hair. Really. And the thing is, if I do cornrows, my hair will thicken back up, especially if I do cornrows, some coconut and CBD oil, and they'll just take right good care of me.
Yeah.
And then like I'm good. But I also
I mean, and you got the little old man glasses on right now.
Yeah. And the thing is, if I do like Keeps, not sponsored, but Keeps sponsor me for stuff. But if I do like every other YouTuber you guys sponsor, but if I do Keeps, like I could probably get my stuff back and keep it longer, and then or I can also do the hair follicle stuff that they do to re-stimulate like that. So I can do that, and that'll help with my eternal youth. And if it doesn't work out,
eternal youth.
Yeah,
well, you're gonna live to 200.
I thought you were gonna make Horcruxes. What happened to that?
They're still being
it's still happening.
They're still being fashioned. Contingencies. So like the Horcruxes are still being fashioned, clone bodies are still being grown, and if all else fails and everything like that, I'll transfer to my apprentice and jack them for their bodies. So that's like I just have to find an apprentice. And in the worst case scenario, I just body snatch them and continue with my plans, my dastardly plans.
Or you can just make a clone.
Well, the clones are being grown. So that's a work in progress. The clones are being grown. So my spare parts are on order. And
she hasn't seen Ever Let Me Go. She doesn't understand. She doesn't understand how
so there's that. But yeah, and again, worst case scenario on the looks thing, I can just like shave and go full confidence like Viper and Bezos and call it a day and just go that.
Yeah.
Again, and
Tim Ferriss.
Yeah, Tim Ferriss. And then besides, also I'm soon here I'll be doing my Brazilian jiu-jitsu like I just seen, and then like I'll get my
Yeah.
washboard abs back. I'll get all of my tone and definition back. Cause like, I mean, I'm not doing too bad over here. I just need this to be like toned more solid, but I'm doing pretty good on the gains. The protein has been working out. The workout's been working like, but I need more definition. So I need to do reps resistance weight training because I have size. I need tonality now. And so once I just tone everything, then like, cause like, have you guys seen how jacked Bezos is?
No.
This man's going like Chronicles of Riddick. Like, no, this dude, like, if you put Jeff Bezos and Vin Diesel next to each other, it's a little bit like a before and after type. Like, I'm not playing. Like, Jeff Bezos is like Audrey. You ain't seen
sure about that?
Yeah.
Romina,
I have not seen
go
any
get
of
Vacation Bezos and pull it up on screen for Audrey.
I don't think I want to see vacation.
Oh, he's jacked. Like, I'm serious. He's jacked. It's not even dad bod. No, he's jacked. Bezos is jacked.
You might have to look it up, actually, Roberto, because I don't think I've fixed mine.
I do not need my FBI agent seeing that in my search history.
I gotta fix my screen share thing when I'm not
Like,
on live.
Actually, like I'll we'll just pull up like Google here, and
I'm seeing some pics here. I mean, I feel a little uncomfortable looking at these pictures, but
no,
like,
this is
not
amazing.
Pull them up on screen.
No, they're coming on screen.
We're pulling them up on screen.
They have to.
First of all, like, tell me that like that doesn't look like if you didn't know any better that you like that might not be
I've seen
Vin Diesel.
Meme.
All right,
that's
but,
so you've seen
yeah.
So yeah, you've seen this
Vacation. We gotta look at Vacation.
Like this is like this is Bezos.
Wait,
you would think if his abs were any more like if his abs were cut just a little bit more. Like I could
put Vacation Bezos. There's better ones. There's better ones.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Vacation.
Is waiting
Bezos.
For Bezos on vacation.
Yeah, images.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, this is like yeah. It's like tell me he's not looking like either like Vin Diesel or Joe Rogan a little bit. Like and prime Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, to be honest.
Yeah. Like, but there's a
why.
little bit of that Vin Diesel vibe going on, to be very real with you. It's the shades mostly, but it's also, I mean, he's got he's doing all right. He's doing all right.
Yeah.
And he's got some style. Look at that shirt. Look at that tailored shirt. Bezos got some flavor.
He got some.
Look at that one with the blue shirt. The blue
shirt. Like that's like I'm like
open and
it's like no. Part of me is like, where's this man's tailor? I'm like, can I get that? Can I get the number for that tailor? Y'all think I'm joking? You think this is just a meme?
Audrey, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever that sound effect was, bruh. That is exactly.
That was a bruh.
That's how I'm feeling about this.
But doesn't that give you like? Doesn't he not have a little bit of that like discount Vin Diesel going on?
Discount Van Diesel is pretty accurate.
Discount Vin Diesel. Hey, I'll take it. Like
this is the future, guys.
That's not bad. Like discount Vin Diesel isn't bad. Like I mean. And then just remember how he used to look in like 1997. Like actually, like the chat has a point. Like if I go Jeff Bezos
98 versus 17,
1998 versus 2017. What's that look like? Let's like yeah. I mean, for real though, that's a glow up.
Dude.
That's a glow up.
Is real.
The glow up is real. Like the glow up is real. Look at this. Look at this. And then the thing is, he was still, but now he's jacked because like before it's like, oh, all right, you know, he went confidence, full bald. He's got the suits on, but now he's like.
Jeff Bezos, more like jacked Bezos.
Jacked Bezos, yeah, jacked Bezos. It's like. I'm like,
how he's like, make it stop, please.
How can you be hating on this? How can you be hating on this? Like, this is like, this is amazing.
Jacked Bezos.
Jacked Bezos.
Because we're talking about the future. So, about the future.
Disney stealing that. Disney stealing your whole future.
Disney's jacking it.
Yeah, like straight up. It's taking the whole thing. What?
I have an unrelated question.
What's
All
up?
right.
How do I bend an arm in Photoshop?
When you say bend an arm, what are you trying
Audrey,
to
I just did the smoothest segue in all of podcast history, and you're
Audrey, you
ruining
can't really Audrey. What you have to do is you have to find a similar arm that's in the
No.
position that you want, and you have to. Yeah, no, that's the only way.
I want to I don't care if it's janky. I just want it to bend.
You have to use the liquify tool.
That sounds a little scary.
but it's very complicated.
God. Okay, I'll just keep
Doing
my
photo
best
manipulation
then.
is not something you do in 30 minutes, Audrey.
I'm pretty sure I saw that in like the movie.
It's something you
Old.
do over the course of 30 hours.
I'm
Like,
too
did you know that
lazy to swap the photo.
did you know that PewDiePie used to spend like 3 hours on thumbnails?
That's
I can believe that.
When
I
he
can
used to
believe
make
that.
the meme style thumbnails where he would use where people's faces would be all messed up and stuff like that.
Sure.
Where people would have those weird evil meme smirks and giant eyes and stuff like that, where it's or big noses.
Right.
He used to spend 2 to 3 hours working on that in Photoshop. I'm not even playing with you. That's when he used to get his peak views, was back in the day when he would do that. That was effort. That was how
No, I
that
believe
worked.
he
it.
was actually really good at Photoshop too, right?
Oh, he was going to get hired by one of the best ad agencies in the UK. He had an internship lined up and then just decided to walk out on it and said, I'm gonna do YouTube. And that's why his parents cut him off. Because people don't realize PewDiePie did grow up somewhat privileged, but he left everything and decided to literally be poor, even though he came from privilege. He chose to be poor and walked away from everything to risk it all on YouTube.
Yeah.
So PewDiePie was born kind of well off. I won't say rich, I'll say well-to-do. He was born privileged and well-to-do, but he walked away from it as a young adult teenager, in his 18, 19. He walked away from security, good internship, dropped out of college to say, I just want to do YouTube videos. I don't know if that's a good idea for most people, but
He went to the front lines. So, since Audrey, do you have any other interruptions, or shall we dive into?
No. I'm working on one.
So, Roberto, I think Audrey cut you off a little bit. You were starting to talk about Disney
is stealing the future. Romina, you actually brought this topic up earlier in Twitter Spaces, so I'm segueing a little bit into it, but I'm just going to tee it up as Disney is patenting new technology that will basically allow them to basically have almost exclusive ownership over the concepts revolving around virtual production, which is actually really cool. I actually need to hit up my friend Steven, CoffeeZilla, because he's obsessed with virtual production. Him, Dr. Disrespect, they're obsessed with virtual production. They should probably know about this and what's going on, because actually it'd be dope to hook CoffeeZilla up with Eugene, because your friend Eugene, our mutual friend Eugene, super into virtual production, VR, and 100. Also into NFT and crypto. But virtual production is a big deal. The two YouTubers that I know that do the best at it are both CoffeeZilla and Dr. Disrespect as far as virtual production stuff. But Disney's gone patent the hell out of this. And it's going to be really interesting and disruptive for them to have those patents. Because it's something that they largely advanced and developed around the Mandalorian TV show on Disney Plus, which is interesting because Star Wars has always invented technology to make its products.
Right.
But do you want to talk more about it, since you were talking so much with Eugene about it earlier today?
Yeah, the thing is that it's not even just what was going on on the Mandalorian, with the live sets and the back, the live backdrops.
Can you explain to people what live sets are for that?
It's more so what they did in the Mandalorian was more so live backdrops where the actors, instead of being in front of a green screen, would actually be in front of these giant screens that would project the background, right, the landscape that the character is in, and they could. And
for the video viewers, I have a screen we can share, so
it could update as the actors were walking around in this live landscape. So
it's an advancement of what was done in the 80s with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where they would kind of use projectors to behind it. And when you would see in old 80s films where they'd be driving but they're not really driving. They're in a still car and there's a movie projector putting a moving scene behind them. This is like taking that to the most absurd and extreme level. It's even beyond what they used to do, where they would do giant matte paintings in the back of Star Wars and then just pan the camera or have that on a slider and move the giant matte painting so it looks like the background is moving, like what they did for Cloud City and all that before they had CG technology. So this is like taking that to an extreme, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that it's so immersive for the actors because it really makes it feel like they're there, right?
Yeah. And you can see these pictures, like how elaborate this is.
And it can bring out performances that would not have been possible before.
I mean, just look at that. That's
that's way more fun than like acting on a green screen.
Right.
Exactly. That's exactly why, is that it's like an immersive environment.
Yeah.
This is, you could almost say that this is a variant of AR, of augmented reality, if you really wanted to think about it.
So
I mean,
what Disney has just done is that they've patented the technology for holographic. What is holographic right now in this present day technology to do this sort of thing, but it's more like holographic. It's definitely even more immersive than this is, because this is just a backdrop.
I think this is 1 to 2 steps below.
Right. This is just a backdrop. Like, this is just a background.
Now they're going to do 3D rendered projections because they're also using Unreal Engine. They're generating these almost lifelike environments in Unreal Engine, because basically they're making whole immersive like worlds in Unreal Engine and then projecting that, and the actors are acting against an actual constructed landscape, but it was constructed in VR essentially. And it's true to life 3D, which means if you had a VR headset, you'd be able to interact with this world that way, but they're projecting it almost like as a holo display. It borders on the holo technology from Star Wars. We actually do have, more or less, Disney has anyway. Disney has the holographic technology that exists in Star Wars already.
Yeah.
We're just 3
and this is like
steps.
The holodeck in Star Trek.
Yes. And I saw the beginnings of this technology when I was at community college, by the way, because we had government funding and we were on a military base, and they were using this for practical applications to train the military. So I saw the beginnings of this technology 15 years ago. And it's really cool to see how it's advanced. You realize, like, we're about maybe 20 years away from the potential for hard-like constructs, because at this point, we're only, 2 to 3 steps removed from hard-like constructs, Romina? Like, we're getting really damn scary. But we can have,
hard like what?
Hard light constructs. So again, we already have the technology to have, like, right now. You remember in Avengers Endgame how they had the holographs of everybody having the meeting? We have that technology now, believe it or not. That's not future tech. We have that. That's not future tech. It's just really expensive. And the holo disc in Star Wars. And how Vader in Star Wars, Audrey, watch Star Wars, like Vader walked onto a small set that lit up around him, and then it gave a 3D projection of him to the Emperor. Emperor has the same setup, and they can view each other's whole 3D like deal, right? We have that now. It's just really expensive. We have that now. It's just really expensive, but we have it now. So we literally have technology that exists in Star Wars for holographic projections right now. Audrey, hard light constructs are where we take a holographic projection and make that holographic projection not something you wave your hand through, but that we actually can interject particles that make it solid.
What do you think about that, Audrey?
That's cool. And a little concerning.
Why?
I don't know. People are going to figure out ways to make things dangerous. They always do.
Well, if I make hard like, I already know how. I can make hard light constructs. Imagine, Romina, that I have the ability to make hard light holographic constructs, and now I just decide to trap you in a hard light box that's essentially a labyrinth or a maze or the Minotaur's maze, and like
Look,
those things can.
I wanted to hear
Jesus.
Audrey say it because
I was gonna
know
say someone could
that
like hard light print
Audrey
a gun
is-
and just shoot it.
Audrey is the type of person who will build a swimming pool in The Sims and then remove the ladder. I'm
What?
So if anybody should be concerned, it's everybody else, not Audrey. Am I wrong?
I'm not confessing to having done that.
Okay. So she's confessed.
Oh,
No.
Studio Cap'n had a good point. Like Green Lantern, like how Green Lantern would like take his ring and project, mental objects, and they actually could physically interact.
So what you're saying is we're already past holograms? Like
No, I'm
we're
saying in
already
30
on to the
years,
next
I'm
step?
saying in about 30 to 50 years, we probably will get past holograms to
Audrey's
hard
like,
light.
I missed
holograms
it.
at? Where are
I
they? Oh
Because
my-
holograms exist now. They're just not affordable and scalable, and they're not as portable quite
But like,
yet.
why are they not at like a science museum? You know,
They are there are places that exist with this stuff, but they're for rich people.
oh,
It always works out that way.
By the way, there are expensive experiences you can go to with like expensive haunted houses and expensive exclusive theme parks on the Disney islands where you can see like holographic stuff. By the way, we already have it. We have holographic. You've seen it with the holographs and holograms of dead celebrities on stage, almost as if they're real life.
that's true.
Or the gorillas. You seen the
Oh,
gorillas?
yeah, the
before?
gorillas.
When
is a
is
good-
the
that-
iPhone gonna take that on?
The Red One, the Red Cinema phone. Remember Do you remember the Epic
I
Audrey
Red?
remember
just found out about the
Break.
technology, and she's like, "When can I have it?" In my
You know
When is
how
the
like
iPhone gonna
MKBHD
integrate
has
that
those
into
Epic
Facebook?
Red cameras? The Epic Red camera people that make those $30,000 to $80,000 cameras that Marquez Brownlee uses. Audrey,
Yeah.
you know about
Uh-huh.
those, right? Same
Yeah.
company made a phone that needed like a heat sink to cool it. It's so expensive that it works so robustly
Jesus.
because it can do the holograms. It can do the
What?
holograms. But it's really impractical.
Tech review.
It sucks at everything else as a phone. And the thing is, they had to put a heat sink on it to stop it from overheating.
That is ridiculous.
So it's like
Are
Audrey,
there
it's like
videos of this
it's like a 2-pound phone. Yeah, he has it's up on Marquez's channel. It's like a 2-pound phone.
And it does holograms?
It's like a 2.5-pound phone. It can basically do that. Yeah.
Audrey, let me ask you something. How would you
It's useless because no one can own it's too expensive to
Yeah,
buy
you
the phone.
Yeah.
Audrey,
No one's gonna buy a $5,000 phone to do
Audrey, how would you use this technology for your channel?
I don't know. I'd probably come up with like a weird video idea related to it.
This would allow
Like having to make something with a hologram. I don't know. Maybe I'd try
Well,
and like,
again-
recreate a Star Wars or something.
yeah.
But worse.
Playing with
like
fire?
a virtual set. Like here's the thing,
Star
Audrey, would a
Wars
virtual set
No, I'd probably come up with a dumb idea. Oh, like we're
Audrey-
talking about the virtual sets. I was still on the holograms.
if you go to the virtual set stuff though, that's a practical application. Like you have practical applications for filmmaking.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. There's so many things you could do with that. I was thinking about the holograms still.
And then look at the
To be
fact that
honest,
they
I
had
feel
like
that'd do better.
they had entire desk and fixtures even wrapped in green screen so that they could then render stuff onto the fixtures and then turn like a furniture or a physical item into anything they wanted. So that's kind of cool that you can do a wraparound on a physical item and then green screen it into whatever you programmed virtually that's of similar size and mass and interact with it. Yeah.
I saw Potato Jet make a video about these sets recently.
That he did?
I think he like made a video where he talked to a photographer about using these sets. It was I didn't watch the whole thing, but it was kind of interesting. Because the photographer was talking about how it'll be so much easier to like get all the backgrounds that they need and stuff, and he's talking about the same thing with it being more interactive and stuff.
Yeah. And you can make anything in Unreal Engine 5 right now. You can literally just
Yeah.
build an entire world in Unreal Engine 5 and then map it onto the virtual set. And you can build it to scale. You can build it to scale, realistically rendered, detailed like environment that mimics the physics of the real world.
I guess if you're like driving in a car in the shot and then the background is like following where the car would be in the map, that makes sense. But what about like a just normal? I guess you don't have to do the detailed map all the time unless you're going to use like multiple different
you
angles.
can for continuity if you need like to say that like you've constructed a world and you need to be able to scale those things and use a reference point and then make sure that it physically scales mapped to the size of a human so that it's not just like BS, and that you can run the calculations easier for what it would look like and what it should look like relative to the size of a person and stuff like that. You can also get more accurate shadows and placement and lighting so that it feels much less fake. And this is how you do something like Dune. This is how you do something like Dune. This is how you can do like Alien Worlds. If we have more accurate stuff from Mars, this is how you could simulate that. If we have more accurate videos and photos of Mars, you could simulate that more realistically. This is really cool stuff. You could use this also to realistically map against the idea of you could build to scale replicas of like national landmarks or recognizable places, and then in the virtual world, if you need to do like an alien attack, you can destroy those things and it costs you nothing, no licensing, no permits, no on location stuff, no having to worry about any of it. Like, and
liabilities are less.
And it's realistic.
No actors tripping over random rocks on the landscape.
No,
I mean, it looks like some
injury.
of the sets had still like stuff in front of the screens.
No, you still do that.
Yeah.
You still have that as well. But the thing is, more of what's going on in the background means you're controlling more of the chaos while still having the maximum impact and effect.
Yeah.
Speaking of Unreal, I saw a short film 2 nights ago that freaked me out. It's on YouTube. I'll send you guys the link. Very short film. I think it was like 7 minutes. It was under 10 minutes, but it was so well done, and it looked like found footage was like the premise of it. And I learned after watching it that it was completely done in Unreal, number one, and number two, that the guy who did it, who made the film, was 15 years old.
Jesus.
What?
If you guys watch this, you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Because it's very simple, super simple, but it's so effective. Like, it freaked me out. It was also like super late when I watched it. But yeah, it's really, really well done. But the idea of a 15-year-old having access to this technology and basically being able to do a film. Imagine being able to do Roberto, like Blair Witch Project by yourself.
Oh my God, that'd be like
right.
Amazing.
Instead of like having to like something like that, right? Where you do something that's like
I could use if I did this, I could do the Star Wars prequels by myself.
Oh,
do you think we're gonna get to a point where like movies
and I'll
are
put it in the chat.
completely digital?
Sorry, what was that?
Do you think we're gonna get to a point like in the near-ish future, besides like animated, like actual like real, supposed to be real-looking movies, completely done on a computer?
Yeah,
you that's like
Sea Captain. Now. Did you ever see that movie, the Sky Captain, not Sea Captain, Sky Captain?
Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow.
Yeah, did you ever see that one, Roberto? With
yeah, Angelina Jolie.
No, what's her name? I don't know if Angelina was in it, but what's her name? She was I'm blanking right now. She was Chris Martin's wife for a while. What's her name? Shit, I can't believe I don't remember right now. Anyway, Sky Captain. What was her name? Gwyneth Paltrow. That's
okay, yeah.
And Jude Law, Angelina Jolie was in it as well. But yeah, that entire movie was like nothing existed except for the actors and what they were wearing.
I think like 80% of Sucker Punch was just computer generated.
Yeah. I remember like when Sky Captain came out, that was like a huge deal. That was like the reason to go watch it, because like nothing was real except for the actors and what they were wearing. And like
What
if they were
someday
holding a
don't
prop.
need the actors. I mean, they're already getting so good with like the
Oh yeah.
animation.
Well,
Even like the Will Smith movie recently, where there's like the younger version of him. What if we
Gemini
get to the
Man.
point where you just don't even like need them? Like they don't even walk into a studio. Like that literally.
It's expensive, but we're there. We're expensive, but we're there. Like
but would it
Unreal
actually
Engine
pass? Like you wouldn't get any like what's that word when you like kind of know something's off?
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, no Uncanny
Unreal
Valley.
Engine is basically that's where Unreal Engine is now.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Between Unreal Engine and NVIDIA deepfakes technology and stuff like that, yeah, you can do that with sourcing enough real like stuff. Like if they redid Forrest Gump today, you wouldn't know that he was not historically in those scenes of history with like Nixon and Reagan and stuff like that and Ford. You would not know today. If they redid Forrest Gump today, you would believe that he's historically in all of those moments.
right. If you look at like the cut scenes in video games, they're really well done at this point now, where you can hardly tell that it's not real people, right?
Right.
I mean, like not actors.
I mean, to be honest, when I watched Lion King, it kind of gave me hope that we're a little far off.
Oh my gosh, you watched
really?
the Lion King? You watched the new Lion
Really?
King?
It's yes, I thought it was
I
too
couldn't.
Uncanny
I made
Valley.
it as far
not.
as the. I made it as far as the. I just can't wait to be king. Like after that,
Stops watching.
after that, when
kinda
like
painful,
Simba
to
was
be
standing
honest.
on the little rock and all the animals were like behind him, I was like, okay, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm out.
No, that
Can't do
movie
this.
gave me hope that we are a long ways from actually doing it justice. Because, like, come on, that was also, but it, the fact that they made the lions smile also contributed to that issue. So maybe it's not a good example.
I don't know. I just like it was just so ridiculous seeing the little lion there with all the animals in the back and like they were talking and stuff, and I was like, I can't.
Some things are just left. Better to just be left alone. We did not need the.
I think what bothers me is like if
real
it was like a thing that was like with real people, I don't think it would bother me as much. But I think the
No.
fact that they
I know
look
what
like
that would
real
look like.
animals, the fact that they're real animals, right? Like they look like real animals, and it's so well done where they look like real animals, but then they're talking.
Is the surrealism of that is just a little? It's
really
I
jarring.
feel like if it was humans,
It's a bridge
it would
too far.
still kind of feel
No,
weird.
because Battle Angel.
No, because
Alita.
people talk.
Battle Angel Alita.
People talk, so it's okay.
Battle Angel.
Exactly, so it looks normal.
Yeah, the best example of this, where it's actually also done well, is Battle Angel Alita. That is the best example of this, and that's like a real world application of this kind of thing. And this kind. By the way, is my buzzing less now when I talk, or
yeah?
I'm not noticing.
There's no buzzing.
Okay, I'm hoping not. Anyway,
by the way, I put a link to the short film that I was talking about a few minutes ago.
Our group chat, yeah.
Yeah, I sent it to the group chat, and then I also put it in the chat, in the live chat as well. So if anybody's looking for it.
Yeah. So like Alita Battle Angel is a really good example of like a CGI human interacting with a real human and it not feeling too weird. Even though you're meant to distinguish her from
because she's supposed to be different.
She's supposed to be an artificial human.
Right.
She's supposed to be a construct, but they make it to where it doesn't feel like she's unnatural to fit in this world. It makes you feel like you just have an iRobot that's very close to. It's like, okay, we have a way to distinguish a Terminator and a real human instead of just the Terminators. You know what I'm saying? We have on purpose. It's on purpose that you can distinguish the two, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable. Just type in like Alita Battle Angel. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I saw the trailers, and then I also saw the behind the scenes stuff, like how they made it and things like that. But I actually haven't gotten around to watching the movie. Have you seen it, Audrey? Because it does look really cool. I like the way that it looks. But I haven't seen it. Oh, let me pull it up.
It's really good.
Oh, whoops.
I think it's on streaming. It's really good.
Yeah. Oh, click on that one, the one where you can actually see, like, to the left. You can see the before and after, the behind the scenes one.
Wait, which one?
To the left. It's right there to the left. Yeah, right there. Go down with your cursor. Go down. Right there, that one. Yeah, click on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's all the mocap stuff right there.
Right. Yeah, that's cool.
That is dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little scary.
Oh my god. All right, why?
Not as like
Let's break
not
this
that like, they
down.
did a bad job, just as in I'm concerned.
You're concerned
Do
that
you
you
think
won't know
that
what's
it is
real
really
anymore?
good.
You're concerned that you're going to live in
Yeah.
a world where you don't know what's real anymore?
I mean, that's already kind of happening.
Well,
no?
define real, as Morpheus would say, what is real? Define
God.
real.
Oh,
If real
no.
is what you can see,
But
taste,
Audrey,
smell, and touch,
okay,
then
can I-
real is nothing more than electrical impulses and signals
I'm
sent
gonna
to your
I'm
brain.
gonna break this
Neo.
down for Audrey. Audrey, what if you have this really great video idea, right? Where you want to jump off a cliff, right? And then
Hell
dive
yeah.
into like a creek, like a river or
Say
something,
die.
right?
Yes.
And not die.
But not
When you
die,
said
right?
dive, I thought you were just gonna say
What if you
die.
had
Yeah.
a digital avatar of yourself that you've created
That
and
you've
so
mocapped
easily
that perfectly.
just throw
that you've
off
done
the
it, and like that production houses took months to make, but you could do with
A
like simple
perfect digital
software
clone
within
that
an
can-
hour.
That'd be
what if-
awesome.
Right.
Yeah,
a clone.
What if you can make a perfectly mapped digital clone that has your exact body specifications, and now because it's an Unreal Engine 3D, it can be programmed to do anything you want in a film, and it will be you because it has all of your
That
physical.
sounds
And-
like the next evolution of clickbait. Just you don't even know if people are actually doing the things themselves.
No, but here's the thing: like you could still be in your video and do your normal thing, but then that one
no,
scene where
that-
you're jumping off
that
the
makes
cliff.
sense. Can you
could
imagine the
use
prank
your-
videos with that?
Yeah. Well, it's like a
People
whole
could be
other.
It would be
"All right,
required to have
I'm
a
gonna
disclaimer.
go skydiving.
It would be required to have a. Here's the thing: on pure
avatar.
entertainment value, I'm good with it because do we need that to be do we need it to be real for it to be entertaining? And then that puts
guess
individual homegrown creators on the same level as filmmakers and people. Think about it. Now, no more having to have absurdly priced insurance and licenses to be able to do this stuff anymore. Now you can buy a license to use a artificially perfectly created version of the Statue of Liberty, and you could skydive off the Statue of Liberty. Not have to buy licensing or insurance. That means that what we can do and be competitive is only limited to our imagination, not our physical resources, limitations, or what's legal to do. We can make anything, and it's still entertaining to watch. It's like, do you really need it to have actually happened? It's just called filmmaking at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
I'm just thinking of how
You can have
YouTube
a disclaimer that this is not real, but again, that's no different than a movie.
Yeah.
What's the difference between this and the VTubers? You know, the virtual, like, what's her name?
I mean,
You know
the
who I'm talking
VTubers make their whole thing, but like I guess
What's
the
that?
I
normal
love that
person-
Amelie is doing it now.
Who's the girl? Who's that girl? The one girl. You know who I'm talking about?
There's too many of
No,
them.
no,
There's
no. She's
The
like
one with the blue
big.
hair?
Code Miko.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, yeah. Right. So what's the difference between that and this, Audrey?
I don't think it's I just think like from a because Miko, that's like her whole thing, right? It's like everyone knows like that's her whole thing. But like
Yeah.
if a normal person, like maybe they don't even normally use this. And then they do one stunt where it's like super dangerous, but it turns out it's their avatar thing. It's cool.
Freddie
I'm
Wong
not saying
already
it's a
used to
bad
do this
thing.
with green screen. Freddie
just saying
Wong already
it's-
used to do this with green screen.
Yeah, I mean, it would just be part
Yeah.
of the filmmaking process. It would just be
Audrey,
another
go
like
watch
special
Rocket
effect,
Jump.
another
No,
something.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think it's cool.
Audrey, go watch Rocket Jump like from back in the old days, and you're gonna see Freddie Wong doing all kinds of stuff like this with green screen, where he did
Oh, I
like a way
remember.
to make himself virtually basically do Grand Theft Auto in real life.
Mhm. No, that's
Like-
awesome.
Like there's like he did this thing where he's literally doing Grand Theft Auto on real life. It's called Gamer Commute, and he's like on there, and he like managed to put himself like on the top of a car without it being real, where he's literally sitting there, rocket launchers and shooting up the highway and everything like that, explosions and like and like stuff like that, and then jumps off and does a tuck and roll, and then is into another scene. He did another one where he walks out of his door and falls out into the sky. All green screen. Awesome. Now imagine taking that to another level where it's like, oh my God, there's practical effects type elements in this because it's all to scale and it's all perfect in shadows and stuff like that. And instead of, by the way, that used to it cost him a fortune to make individual videos on YouTube back in the day. Now imagine that like any freaking 16-year-old with a MacBook Pro can do it. That's dope. Think about the fact that now today, think about it. Today, an 18-year-old with nothing but YouTube tutorials and a fully spec'd out MacBook Pro could make Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to go that far. I mean, this 15-year-old who made that short film I was talking about.
Think about it, though. If you literally go out to basically, if you have some green screens, you use a machine shop, and you also have access to a desert.
Yeah.
With today, what you can buy commercially for a couple $1,000, what kid can't literally go out and make the first Star Wars movie?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can make the first Star Wars movie on a $30,000 budget or less.
Yeah, probably even less.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to, if time wasn't a factor and you really wanted to just.
If time was no factor, but if you only had a summer to shoot.
Yeah.
And then you had the rest of the year to edit, you could make Star Wars Episode 4 on like 30 grand, as long as everybody's willing to act for free.
Which I'm sure people would. If they really love Star Wars, they would. You could get your buddies together and just make it, you know?
And if you went full green screen, basically the prequels were almost all CGI. So with today's technology, it's CGI, even homegrown CGI is better. Think about it like this. Lucasfilm had to hire a kid because he deep faked the Mandalorian season 2 finale of Luke Skywalker better than Disney did. Of young Luke Skywalker, he did a better job than them. Marvel recently hired like a 19-year-old kid. I think you guys remember this, a 19-year-old black animator who did all these cool Marvel effects on TikTok, went viral, and Marvel hired him.
I remember that. Yeah. That's incredible.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That's how good we have it. That's why I keep getting mad about people complaining, because that's how good we have it.
Right. No, I can only imagine like where I would be now if I had access to that.
Yeah. No, if you and I could just shave off 20 years, we come back and we're God.
And I had access to stuff that was because I was interested in it. I went out and I
Julian
looked
Bass,
for it,
thank you. It was the TikToker. Eugene has the name. It's Julian Bass. You can look up Julian Bass. Shout out to Julian Bass. Like that's the TikToker.
Yeah. He's from Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta. Talent. Atlanta's got talent.
Wow. Wink, wink. Freaking. We got to get a screenshot of that. Yeah, we're gonna video that, put that up, and make you a meme again, Roberto. It's been too many weeks since you went viral on Twitter for
make Roberto great again.
Yeah, make Roberto great again. Roberto's a meme. He's a walking meme.
I could be if I wanted. Like
no, you are though, literally.
It's like Trent out there and then like freaking Twitter streets always like with the screen grabs.
Question. So here's something that I've thought about before, and it's kind of a tangent, but also it can tie into this because it's the environmental aspect of entertainment, like the direction it's going in, right? Of 3D, of VR, AR, the idea of having an actual environment and the metaverse, right? To be entertained in, as opposed to a 2D, like one-way street for entertainment. I've thought about, so something that I do enjoy sometimes watching is the dash cams. So like watching people, like just having people drive for like hours, and then they just have like music.
Oh, the road hypnotizes you.
Right. Yeah. It's just like that kind of stuff, or like, you know, driving in the rain at night, like that sort of stuff. And it's literally just somebody who's put a dash cam on their car and they just like drove around for like 3 hours. Right.
Mm-hmm.
How can something like that be applied to the current climate of content creation on YouTube, plus eventually integrate maybe potentially some kind of like VR or 360 or something like that? What do you think about that?
Well, I think the thing
This is all hypothetical, by the way, just making.
Well, here's the thing. I
Is this an
think any
ideal
experience that people like want to create, you can then monetize by saying, here, buy this experience, this VR experience that I've meticulously created. Like, all right, so a VR experience that people could buy, not me, because it'd be too anxiety inducing, is bungee jumping. If you literally, so if you bungee jump with a 360 cam and then you somehow then productize that, that's an experience that some people might just go ahead and say, yeah, I'll pay $2 to VR experience bungee jumping.
What do you think about that, Audrey? What do you think about dash cam videos?
I mean, I feel like they do well, but there's also just so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you'd have to find an angle that makes it
I have an easy one.
interesting.
All 50 states.
Really slightly different.
All
Yeah.
50 states.
Think about it. If you make a YouTube channel and it's like, you know, the dash cam and the thing is, it's like cross country, all 50 states, that is an experience and that's a community builder. And that's a like, okay, that's dope. If you also did it with skydiving in all 50 states, that's a challenge. That's a, oh dear God, you're really playing Russian roulette here. Like, this is exciting. Are you going to make it through all 50 of these
Are you
jumps?
going to die?
Are you? That's a like, yeah.
One day the channel just ends. Or like, oh well. Yeah.
So like, do you realize that today?
Yeah.
By the way, do you know what Mr. Beast should do? Here's what Mr. Beast should do, or somebody else, or even if it's Mr. Beast or somebody else. Now it's hard right now because of the pandemic makes it hard. But here's what around the world in 80 days in real life. Phineas Fogg, the actual around the world in 80 days.
On a boat.
Like,
I think you could do around the world in 30 days or less.
No, like I think practically speaking, you do it as a challenge around the world in 80 days.
But you could do it in less now, right? Because like
but the thing is, you use that because of the historical reference to the book. But now that you can do it in less, so the thing is, here's one thing: you can either do it in less because of all the things available to you now, or you could say, I'm going to do it trying to recreate the actual same method that like Phineas Fogg did, meaning that you use the same methods of travel, even if it's the modern versions of them, use the same methods of travel. And you want to see if you can do it in 80 days or less. Because remember, Phineas Fogg speculated that he could do it in less than 80 days too.
Right.
He was ahead of schedule until he got detained by the authorities.
Right.
Remember?
Right.
And so that could be a challenge. And here's the thing. Even if you're not Mr. Beast, which makes it easier to do, it's easier to do it if you're Mr. Beast, right? It's easier if you're doing it to Mr. Beast. But the thing is, you could also straight up as somebody who's not as popular as Mr. Beast, but you have some kind of following and some kind of thing. If there wasn't a pandemic right now, I would say literally you could crowdfund it. Because here's the thing. You could crowdfund it. You are monetizing it through vlogging it. You can monetize it with sponsors. They could, because you could pre-plan this thing, you could hype it up, and you could pre-sell the days, meaning you can pre-sell that this day is sponsored by, and you could sell 40 sponsor slots for this. You can sell 50 sponsor slots because you know that the trip is going to at least take 50 days. You could sell 40 or 50 sponsor slots for this. You could crowdfund the hell out of it, monetize the hell out of it with an existing
project.
Huh?
That's like a whole channel on itself. Like that would be the entire channel.
Yeah.
It's just this series.
But so you have the long form version of it. You have the shorts and the TikToks. It's not just a single channel. It's a whole damn brand. Yeah. You could make this one challenge into a whole brand. And then you could also commemorate it with all the photos you took along the way, sell the photo book around the world in 80 days, photo book or whatever. It's like, you can use this opportunity while you're doing it to also break world records while you're at it and then make it much more interesting, which raises the stakes, raises the notoriety.
I feel like people have Haven't people done channels where they sail around the world?
Yes, but they didn't put a challenge element to it.
Yeah. Honestly, my brain went to sailing around the world on a paper boat. I don't know. That one sounds awful. But that's where my brain went. That would be like one video though.
I'm vetoing that.
We're crossing an ocean in a paper boat.
That's a good way to die.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a really solid paper boat that you put like a ton of money into.
No.
It doesn't even have to be a crazy ocean. We can find the smallest ocean and then it counts. And then
this is a horrible idea.
I think it's an awesome idea. I don't know how realistically it would work, but that's a problem for later.
Yeah.
That's a logistical problem.
This is a very, very big logistical problem. It's
Tell me you wouldn't click on that. I would click on it. I mean,
I would, but it doesn't make it a good idea.
Crossing an ocean in a paper boat.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. It's okay if you don't make it. I mean, it'd be better.
No, it is not okay if you don't make it. That we're
not incentivizing this nonsense.
Really disappointed, but that's okay. You can make it about how life is more important.
There's all these interesting ideas that you could do something like this, and then you can virtualize the experiences or stuff like that. Do you realize that you could literally do a first person thing of just every day on a farm, and that people would pay to have the immersive VR experience of every day on a farm?
That is wild, but it's true, which makes it even more wild.
Would you pay for this experience, Audrey?
No.
You wouldn't pay $5 to have 365 days of VR.
I feel like my dad would just laugh at me because he literally grew up on a farm. So if I told him that
you don't have to travel
to experience VR on a farm, he would probably disown me.
No, but it'd be dope because it's you're doing it without any of the
He's like, if you're not getting your hands dirty, you're not really on the farm.
All right, let's go. We'll just go back to Indiana for a
day. You want to experience the farm?
But here's the thing. You don't have to worry about traveling to Indiana. You don't have to deal with the hassle.
I think that's called life, Roberto.
I would veto that one, but only that specific example for this.
And here's another one. Remember how I said let's get a bunch of brands to pay for us to do all 7 continents? Well, boom.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I've been saying for a while with some of my creator friends that we want to just all get a big school bus and just make content for 3 months, traveling around, road tripping in the US on the school bus. I still think it'd be really fun. I don't know exactly what we would do.
The best part of what you could do with it is you get 2 school buses and you basically create real world versus road rules. Because now you have 2 school buses. You make it rival schools. You make it a competition.
Make it a challenge, Audrey.
That's a challenge. Like the wizard.
You make everything a challenge.
You make it a challenge, like the freaking Tri-Wizard tournament or whatever. You make it you go that way. You go more that way.
Is David Dobrik doing a show with Discovery?
Oh yeah, he's doing a Discovery show where he's traveling the world for the first time because once he became a DACA kid, he came here, he stayed put, but now he's traveling the world and.
He's bringing all his friends.
And he's bringing all his friends. And that's actually, it's been pretty dope to watch. And he has made almost nobody bothers talking about his scandals anymore. Before YouTube disabled dislikes, his dislike ratio was right back down to the same number of dislikes he used to get. His views are not quite where he used to be, but he's on the road to recovery with that. But I attribute that much more to taking a break than to his cancellation. So he's back. The problem that he has right now is it's a good thing he has the Discovery deal, because he's not getting brand deals. I think it'll take another year for recovery of rehabilitation of his brand for him to get brand deals going again. And because he keeps putting copyrighted music in his stuff, he makes no YouTube ad revenue. So most of his stuff is people supporting through merch. It's the ad revenue on his second channel and on his podcast channel, because then there's not copyright music on that, but that's still that's only good money to you and I. It's not good money versus the expenses that he has for the content that he makes. So like he's like he's still rich, but he's not profitable, so to speak. He's break even. He's in loss leader mode, but he doesn't have the ancillary, oh, I'm taking decent profits, which means he used to take decent profits to be like, and that's why he gets to have and live a rich lifestyle. So he's still solvent, so to speak. But now he's on thin margins. Like he's on thinner margins, I'd imagine right now, than Mr. Beast is. But without the benefits of, because Mr. Beast planned that, and Mr. Beast has a frugal lifestyle because Mr. Beast like lives modest and his house is fully paid for. His mom made sure like that no matter what happens, you can risk and gamble on YouTube all you want because you will never be so broke that you will be homeless. And I've set you up with something of a retirement account. So like, because his mom is practical as hell. His mom didn't want him to drop out of school to do YouTube. So when he started making that real money, she insisted on taking enough of it to buy a house. You own it outright. So you'll never be truly broke and homeless. You can risk it all as often as you want because you'll never be back to nothing.
Do you think we'll ever have first person POV vlogs? Like that'll be just a thing now that VR.
We have it now.
I know, but I'm just saying, I know we have it and we have for a while, but I'm saying, do you think it'll become a style soon because of like
in the
more
metaverse?
VR?
In the metaverse, I can see it because again, the future of the metaverse is partly commoditizing digital experiences. We already have started moving to digital experiences. We just don't consider them digital experiences. When you buy the right to stream a song like permanently, like when you buy music and you don't have a physical CD or tape or record, right? When you buy the license from Apple Music or Amazon or wherever you buy your music, you're buying the rights to that digital experience. You're also even buying the rights to produce an analog copy of it through burning a CD, because you can legally burn a CD for yourself once you buy the music from one of these stores. You know, you can do that. You can legally transfer that music to another device that you own. What people don't realize is in the terms of service, you're paying for a license to the digital experience and you have certain digital rights. So the natural extension of that is where this NFTs, smart contracts, metaverse, digital experiences is that's going to be like, hey, we can verify the authenticity. It's an expansion of DRM. No one realizes this is just an expansion of DRM. But with transferable capabilities and added on expansions to the contract. I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it further. Actually, pray I do alter it further for your benefit. So that's what this is, and that's what people don't understand is that this is, instead of licensing intellectual property, you're licensing the right to have an experience, and you're licensing the terms by which you can have that experience.
Yeah.
Think about it. When you buy pay-per-view, you're buying the right to experience that broadcast behind a paywall.
I don't know, guys.
When you buy a digital game that you don't own a physical copy of, you're buying the right to have the digital experience to play that game on your Xbox or Nintendo Switch or PSP. You're also buying the right to transfer it to another console that we can say you have ownership of. So when you buy your games, if for some reason your PS4 is damaged, you're logging into your PSN account and saying, hey, I am this person. You verified my identity through my email or my phone number or whatever, and I have the right to play these games. That's what that is, right? That's the future, is we will just commoditize other experiences. In the same, we're already doing it. People don't understand this. Like, this shit ain't new. Even with the digital currency aspect of things and saying, oh, well, you can't use that in the real world, or you're buying fake money with real money. It's like, And these people are going to act like they were never kids at Chuck E. Cheese buying fake money with real money in the form of tokens, and that they didn't exchange those tokens for the right to the experience to play the game, and that they did exchange the tickets that they won in playing that game experience, and then use that as the only currency by which they could buy the prize at the prize shop. They're going to act like NFTs, cryptocurrency, and digital currency is literally not just buying Chuck E. Cheese tokens, having the right to play a game, having the right to then take the prize tickets from that game and exchange it in the gift shop. They're going to act like this is new. They're going to act like they didn't buy Disney, but they're going to act like their parents. They're going to act like their parents didn't buy them Disney bucks as a kid. People hating on NFTs and cryptocurrencies are freaking dumb. They're freaking dumb. I said it. I am judging you. You're dumb and you're brain dead and you're a freaking hypocrite and you're a freaking moron.
We made it.
You're gonna sit here and pretend. You're gonna sit here and pretend your parents didn't buy you Disney bucks, and you're gonna pretend you didn't buy Chuck E. Cheese tokens and exchange tickets to the gift shop. You're a freaking moron. Congratulations on becoming an old fart like your parents and grandparents.
Wow, it took an hour
I'm impressed.
for you to get to this point, Roberto.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, and I kind of fall into this category sometimes, especially on Twitter. It's just like, I like to hear about it. I just don't want to hear about it all the time. You know, it's
That's
like
fair.
anything else. You know, and I feel like sometimes I do consider blocking it on Twitter just because I'm like, I've seen too much of this. Maybe I'll unblock it in a couple months.
Did you feel that way when it was nothing but, hey, you got to be on TikTok. Hey, you got to be on TikTok. Hey, you got to be on TikTok. Hey, you got to be on TikTok.
I definitely was. Right. I felt the exact
But it played out. But it played out that it's like, geez, maybe I should have been early to TikTok.
Yeah, but I still don't want to see it all the time on my Twitter.
Do you realize what would have happened if we were early to TikTok? Do you realize how much money we would have? Do you realize how much bigger our YouTube channels would have? Do you realize how much money we would have? Do you realize what we'd be getting to right now if we were early to TikTok?
No, I was early to TikTok. I just didn't do anything.
Right. If we did, we were early and we did something with it.
Mean?
If we were early and we had a good execution of it, like if we were early and we had a good execution of it, it would have been like having the opportunity to be the first in your category in YouTube all over again. And we saw what that was like.
Yeah.
People are being loud about this because there are a lot of people who realize they missed the boat on YouTube, they missed the boat on TikTok, they missed the boat on being early, and they know what early first adopter dominance is. And frankly, some of them are trying to tell people that if you missed the boat before on being an early adopter in new technologies, can you imagine what it was? Can you imagine being the first to be able to be first mover advantage in a category on Twitch? What that would be worth today? Like first mover advantage on Twitch, first mover advantage on YouTube, first mover advantage on TikTok. It's not even close in terms of the value of that. The value of that is literally millions of dollars a year and never having people that can truly, truly take your place. That's life-changing, generational wealth building type advantages. But we're tired of hearing about it.
Yes. I think they can both coexist. Like, I can understand that that's how important they are, but I also
I wish I'd listened to every freaking chode who was screaming about Bitcoin in 2015. Because if I would have just shut up and listened and then held for dear life. Actually, I did buy it in 2017, 2018. Guess what? You realize how much it sucks for me to have bought. Like, do you realize how much it sucks for me to, even though I was profitable, mind you, I made my money. Do you realize how much it sucks for me that it's like did you realize like how stupid it is that I bought Bitcoin at 4,000 and at some point I sold for a profit, mind you. But can you imagine being able, like, it's at what, 40K right now? Can you imagine being able to buy Bitcoin at $4,000? Can you imagine? By the way,
you had like 20.
Dude, like, Romina, do you know at one point I held 12 ETH? I held 12 ETH at one point.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it costed me the cost of 1 ETH now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even close. Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting in an Ethereum at $200?
Yeah, I can't imagine it.
Like, just remember though, hey, Romina, here's the good news. Just remember, we
Yeah.
were early on some altcoins though.
Yep.
And we made bank. And the thing is,
Right.
even with people being down on some of those coins right now, we still profitable and it's not even close. We still 5x. Right. We still 5x profitable on a dip, on a downturn. The thing is, like, people think it's cratered and we still up 5x. We can't lose money anymore.
Right.
We can't even lose money. That's the thing. And we good.
Right. No, I think that there's value in having a million of something.
Yeah.
Right.
For real.
Regardless of what it is, because like,
yeah.
If you're in early, right? Like I'm saying, like, don't flip your house to buy a million.
No, because I ain't dumb.
Saying,
no. And this is the thing, like I said, with Mr. Beast's mom, when Mr. Beast made real money,
then you do it, right?
When Mr. Beast got real money, his mother insisted and like took some of his money and made sure that he was secure for for life in terms of the basic things. As far as, look, you've been blessed with this wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
It came fast enough and early enough for you in life for me to be concerned, and you are not reckless. You are a genius, but in case you fly too close to the sun, the good news is you will have something to fall back on in retirement and savings, and you will have a house, and you will not owe anybody. And that's like smart on his mother's part, and smart on him to trust her like that, to say, and to have the humility to say, I know I came from nothing. I know we had hard times. So making sure that we never go back to so hard times is a reasonable thing to do. And I can dump a little less money into YouTube as much as I throw everything at it and like gamble it all. This is a reasonable thing to do. And now that we have to take care of friends and family that we hired, I'm gonna do the reasonable thing by them, because you're right. If it's just me, I can risk everything, but it's not just me. Like, that was really responsible of him, his mom, his whole family, his whole team to think that way. And so when we're talking about new opportunities, we're talking about take your profits, don't be greedy, and we're talking about don't risk anything you can't lose and not cry over.
100%.
Like, I don't like the money I play with on like crypto.
Yeah.
Is like money that I make in a day. So I'm like, I'm not gonna cry.
QQ.
I'm saying per transaction.
Audrey.
I'm saying per transaction.
Audrey.
Yes.
Do you own any NFTs?
No.
Are you interested in owning any NFTs?
Yeah.
Have you seen any that you're interested in? Like, specifically?
I don't know. I don't know like exactly what to look for, to be quite honest.
Here's what I would tell you. Audrey.
What interests you? Why are you interested in having an NFT?
I think it's just interesting to see like what would happen with it.
I'll tell you guys. All right. So like, ask yourself, like, let me ask you something. Are there any creators that if you could be in a club that they build, like an exclusive club or secret society that those creators build, who are like 3 or 5 creators that you'd say, oh, I would want to be in your secret society? Whatever it is.
RedRomina.
Yes, of course. Wait, what do you mean by secret society? What does that even mean?
You do realize that if you go into current NFT communities that are based like around crypto art, that what it really is you're becoming part of a private membership.
You're being part of a
fraternity or sorority, basically.
You're in a club, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, that's why the Bored Ape is called Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's like, it's actually like a secret society that you cannot be in. You can right click on those JPEGs all you want, but you're not a member of the Discord server. You're not a member of the Slack channels, and you don't get to come to the actual yacht parties.
Someone goes, are we joining cults now?
Oh yeah, we're joining cults.
You've always joined cults. You've always joined cults. You've always joined cults.
Man. Like, if the cult's hanging out on a yacht, I'm joining that cult.
No, we've always been part of cults. Every cult, it's called every fraternity and sorority, that's a cult. Every secret society from Harvard and Yale, that's a cult. Every cult major religion, every major and minor religion, that's called a cult. Every major brand, that's called a cult. Every major fandom, Harry Potter, Star Wars, that's called a cult. You're already in cults.
What do you think about that, Audrey? You're a cult
love
member.
Cults.
Did you say you like cults? Oh my God! All right, this has gone off the rails.
According to
Think
this,
about
I'm part of a lot of
Let me ask you something, Audrey. If Mr. Beast launched
Audrey
an
doesn't
exclusive,
collect NFTs; she collects coins.
let me ask you something. If Mr. Beast launched it, if Mr. Beast launched an NFT, if Mr. Beast launched an NFT, and what it does is it puts you in a constant rotating lottery to be in a Mr. Beast challenge video, you would buy that NFT, right? You want to tell me you wouldn't?
No, I don't. Why, Mr. Beast?
You don't ever want to be in a Mr. Beast challenge video.
I mean, I'm not saying I don't want to. I'm just like, I don't want to pay money. Like, it'd
Why
be cool, but I'm not that.
You don't think it's worth paying money to be in a Mr. Beast
buy
video?
a PC right now, like.
But I hear you.
Audrey's like, I'm a simple man. I just want bread
You're trying
and
to buy a
milk.
PC. I hear you. So all right, let's say you already had your PC though. It's like you don't think it's worth paying money to have the option or potential to be in a Mr. Beast video.
I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just why I'd rather be in a lot of other types of videos. You know, I know I'm getting way too specific.
Okay, what types of videos? What types of videos, number one, and number two, would you pay to be in those videos?
No.
Okay, but brands would.
Like, okay, from my perspective as a creator, I don't ever want to pay another creator to be a part of something that they're doing. I'd want to either like help or just organically be a part of it.
But you don't have an existing relationship with a creator. This is a way to buy that. Like, how is that any different than buying a ticket to an event? How is it any different than buying a ticket to an event where you might meet a creator? How is it any different?
Because I might meet them. It's not like I'm like, it's not
you
like
might be
it's not like a meet and greet.
You actually have the ability to build a relationship with them because now you're in their secret society. So now you're in their DM group. Now you're in their Slack channel. So now you're building a relationship with them. You might be in the video regardless of whether you win the lottery or not on that because you at least have access to them. And so, and you're a priority. You're paying to be a priority. You're paying to, which is the same thing as paying $2,000 to go to an event. Then you happen to meet somebody and now they see your face. They know your name. Maybe you even swap contact information. You bought your way into the access for the opportunity to build the relationship. That's the same thing as why you pay to go to a good college, not for the degree, for the damn network.
Yeah.
What is the difference between paying thousands of dollars to go to a fancy school where the rich snob kids are going to still be rich snob kids and freeze you out, especially if you're an introvert, versus if you go ahead and you buy into an exclusive membership community, then you are immediately, the acceptance is there. The acceptance is there, and it's a smaller group. It's a niche thing because of all the people who are rejecting it right now. And the thing is, they're like, being part of the group is all that matters, not your bank account, not your pedigree, not all that. Whereas if you go to the Ivy League schools thinking you're going to get a network out of it, the same people who look down on you because of where you came from, if you go to an Ivy League school, are still going to look down for you. Even if you go into a frat, you're still going to be the bottom person in the frat or the sorority. Even if they kind of sort of have your back, they'll never forget where you came from. We have a much different culture around these communities online where it's less judgmental than that. Because now you're in a culture of like, you're down with the community, you're down with the NFTs, you're down with this. That's already okay, you're different than the other people. You're one of our people just on culture. Just like in card game communities like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, no one cares where you came from because you're the same type of nerd as them.
Yeah.
Culture.
No, I completely get it. It makes so much sense. What Method Box is saying, like this specific example may not be the best at explaining. Like for me specifically, but I totally get that. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, that's what it is. It's like, because again, people say, oh, it's not what you know, it's who you know. This is a buy-in opportunity to say, well, these are the people I want to know and I want to get in with. And I have a way to do that. And the answer to it is I buy into this thing that makes me part of the network. And now I'm one of them. And that's a different game. It's the same thing, by the way. What do you think people are trying to do to some extent, even with their content creation? They want to get to a level of status. That's why they want a silver play button, a gold play button, because they're like, well, then I have one more thing in common with these group of people that I want respect from.
Roberto, for your NFT, are we going to get robes?
You have to, dude.
Or we
It's
need
not
to-
a cult if there's no robes.
robes
real
and
with you-
masks. We need
To be
robes
real
and
with
masks.
you, to be real with you, what we might get is like we
We
like
gotta be
we might-
careful here.
like to be real with you, we might get varsity jackets. We might get like letter jackets. Like take it back to that.
Oh man,
like,
he's gonna do the members only
I was thinking like Harry Potter vibes.
Harry Potter vibes. Well,
No,
I
it would
mean, if
be-
he starts,
on
if
the
he
vibe
has
of
like,
your cult, you know.
if he's gonna have a cult, he's gonna have Dark Lords, right?
it's another level though.
I mean, they're gonna
Another
have to
level.
have robes. I just don't see.
Now we
any
might
other
be
way.
we might go.
What
the
about
modern-
jerseys? Like some like cool like the jackets, but we're saying, but they got hoods, you know, so you put them over.
Oh, we got the hoods, but we also like we might have like legit badges though. Like I might like legit have like custom, like just how like you have your crest for the houses and stuff like that. We might have like for some freaking brooches. We might have some like some crest and everything like that. If you want to be fancy, you can get yours custom jewel encrusted. Like we can.
Oh my god,
yeah. But tell me that would not be dope though. Tell me
awesome.
tell me like like a jacket, a coat of arms. Like I would have that stuff designed like custom and everything like that. And it's like mine. See, I might have real world utility value to my project because once you're in for a while, it's like you've been in for a while. Congratulations, we sent you your package. Here's your box.
You're
and then
in
in your
circle.
box are your things that are like and it's like, and nobody else can have these because they're like, and you might have like monogrammed shit.
I don't know if I would. I don't know. I feel like it would scare me a little bit to get a box from Roberto.
I would kind of almost even do
Oh
my,
God.
you know, like how Pete, like Peter McKinnon has his Pirate Pete drops.
with the like treasure chest that he sends people.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
If I like made a value enough utility thing and I could get all the things that I want sourced, I would literally, my secret society would also kind of be like really being in a club with perks.
Should we discuss this on the next episode? Planning
I
our
just had an
secret
idea
society?
for what my outfits would be. I'd force everyone to wear only yellow so that it's very obvious who they
Everything's in yellow, or would it be
They have to
black?
wear
Everything
yellow
would be
all the
black and yellow.
time.
Everything would be black and yellow.
No, only
Guys,
yellow.
we should start wrapping up this episode because we've been going for a while and I gotta go soon.
Okay, yeah.
But we can talk about our secret societies next week if nothing else comes up.
That's gonna be a great title.
Like
Come
to be,
join
yeah,
our cult.
Yeah, planning our secret societies.
yeah, like building a secret society from scratch. Like
Our title should be "We're starting a cult," not clickbait.
that is like it's like yeah.
All right,
then
I'm
it's
gonna let
complete
Roberto think about an outro.
All right, let's do the outro.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the No Assembly Required podcast. Please review us. Give us 5 stars in both Spotify and Apple Podcast if you would be so kind. This has been your trio of hosts. We'll be seeing you next week. We're signing off, starting with Audrey, sus as hell Ember, Romina the birthday girl, and of course your Dark Lord of the interwebs here to usher you into a secret society of his choosing, Roberto Blake. Thank you for listening to the No Assembly Required podcast. We'll catch you next week. Stop.